Welcome to the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Wednesday, September 24th. Today we will see no significant impacts across the Great Basin with warmer and drier conditions. However, we will see a return of showers and thunderstorms from the south starting tomorrow with an area of low pressure off the west coast. This will bring wetter thunderstorms to many areas, but there will be a mix of wet and dry on the fringes of the moisture. On Friday, the thunderstorms move further east and decrease in aerial coverage. We've had no significant precipitation across the Great Basin and no lightning reported in the last 24 hours. Yesterday, we had 7 new fires for 4 acres across the Great Basin. You can see the new starts in Utah and up into Idaho. Over the last 7 to 14 days, the only precipitation we've seen of any significance has been over the northern half of the Great Basin, and some of these areas have seen above normal precipitation over the last 2 weeks in parts of northern Nevada and in parts of central Idaho and western Wyoming. Our RAWS ERC percentile point map shows our fire danger conditions well with almost all areas below the 50th percentile. However, we have seen an upward trend with the warmer and drier conditions, and there are a few spots in Idaho that have crept above the 50th percentile. Looking at our satellite loop from this morning, high pressure dominates the Great Basin, giving us these much warmer and drier conditions across the region, along with sunny skies and generally light winds. We do have an area of low pressure off the southern California coast, which is pushing plenty of moisture into California today. This will be a very slow-moving system, and it will track eastward and eventually push the moisture into the Great Basin starting tomorrow. So for today, again, you can see the area of low pressure near the California coast. Can't rule out some clouds or showers or isolated thunderstorms in the Sierra today, but otherwise much warmer and drier across all areas of the Great Basin with generally low significant fire potential. We will see some of those lower relative humidities in the single digits in northwest Nevada and southwest Idaho, so it will bump up the significant fire potential just a bit, but still generally low. And you can see that here on the relative humidity map with most areas in the single digits to low teens or near 10% in much of Nevada into southwest Idaho, and relative humidity still higher over eastern Idaho into Wyoming and eastern Utah. The only gusty winds will be associated with this area of low pressure, so we could see some south to southeast winds pick up over parts of the Sierra into far western Nevada, with some gusts in the 20s to maybe around 30 miles per hour. Otherwise, light winds expected across the basin. Today, temperatures will continue to climb, and we will be above normal over western and northern areas of the Great Basin, with highs generally in the 80s in the valleys. And will be closer to normal now over the eastern half of the Great Basin now that the low pressure that's been impacting the area over the last couple of days has moved east. And you can see for our showers and thunderstorms, the only real threat of anything would be in the Sierra, but mostly that'll be along the crest and on the west side. However, tomorrow, as this area of low pressure continues to push east into California, we will see that moisture push into western and southern Nevada and southwest Utah for an increase in humidity, showers, and thunderstorms. Significant fire potential still remains low. We will see some gusty outflow winds with these thunderstorms. However, again, we are expecting some moisture, so we will see some areas of wetting rains as well. Otherwise, relative humidity will significantly increase as the moisture moves in, but still remain low over parts of northern Nevada into southern Idaho, and even parts of Utah will drop back into the teens. Temperatures will still remain warm. We will be closer to normal on the west side of the basin as we get a little bit more clouds and showers, but we will be above normal over the rest of the Great Basin. And you can see the areas of showers and thunderstorms expected on Thursday, pretty widespread across the southern half of the Great Basin. On Friday, this area of low pressure drops a little bit further south and east, so it will limit some of the moisture with some dry air pushing north. So this will decrease our showers and thunderstorms and push them a little bit further east. Otherwise, still continued low fire potential. The only gusty winds will be associated with the gusty outflow winds, and you can see on Friday definitely less coverage overall, which we are expecting less lightning than what we'll see on Thursday. Otherwise, we could see some breezy west to northwest winds in the Snake River Plain with relative humidity near or just below 20%. Temperatures will still remain warm generally, but in the near to just above normal range. Again, you can see the showers and thunderstorms decrease as they move off to the east and we get a little bit drier air, but still we will see isolated thunderstorms, especially in Utah and even into parts of eastern Nevada. 3-day precipitation, you can see most areas will receive light precipitation, but there will be pockets of wetting rains across the southern half of Nevada, the Sierra especially, and then into the Arizona Strip and southwest Utah. As we move into the weekend, this area of low pressure tracks very slowly to the east, so we'll still have wraparound showers and thunderstorms across the southern half of the Great Basin and drier conditions further north. As we move into Sunday, we will see a stronger trough move into the Pacific Northwest, so that will help interact with this moisture. So we could see some showers and thunderstorms a little bit further north, up into Idaho and Wyoming and northern Nevada. We do have a new tropical feature here off the Baja coast, but right now it will not be impacting the Great Basin through the weekend. As we move into early next week, we will see this stronger trough push eastward, so we will see an increase in winds starting Sunday over parts of northwest Nevada and southwest Idaho, and these gusty winds will continue into Monday and into Tuesday. However, we will see moisture moving in as well, so relative humidity will increase and better chances of showers and thunderstorms in the north. So therefore, our significant fire potential still remains low, even with this increase in wind. But it will be something to watch in the lower elevation where we have our above normal fine fuel loading over northern Nevada and southwest Idaho. If we do get an ignition with these gusty winds, we could see certainly some growth for a burning period or so. 7-day total precipitation, you can see better chances, especially as we go later in the weekend into next week, for northern areas to see wetting rains in parts of Idaho and into Wyoming. And then we will see scattered areas of precipitation further south. So most areas will see at least some light precipitation and certainly an increase in humidity as we go through the next 7-day period. The 8 to 14-day outlook, taking us from October 1st through the 7th, shows continued warm conditions and better chances of above normal precipitation over the eastern half of the Great Basin and up in the Pacific Northwest. That concludes our webcast for today. Check back tomorrow for the latest updates.